Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. And thank you for joining us. Tonight we're going to begin the Panchama Adhyaya, chapter 5. It's on page 243, and we're going to request that you all open your books if you have them available and recite along with us. Ombu Swaha, Ombu Swaha, Om Swat Swaha, Om Bhurva Swat Swaha, Panchbodhyaya Sutvacha Swaha, Atanyacha Prabhakshami, Srinudvam Muni Satamaha, Asi Tumgadvaja Raja, Prajapalana Patpara Swaha, Prasadan Satya Devashya, Tyaktva Dyukamavapahasa, Ekadasa Badangatva, Hatva Bahuvidan Pathun Swaha, Agadya Batamulamcha, Drisva Satyashbhujanam, Gopaha Kurbanti Santushta, Bhakti Yuta Sabandava Swaha, Raja Drisva Tutarpena, Nagatva Nananamasa, Tato Gopaganaha Sarve, Prasadani Pasanido Swaha, Sanstapya Punarakatya, Bhaktikwa Sarve Devsitum, Tata Prasadan Satyajya, Raja Dukam Bhavasa Swaha, Tashaputra Satan Dashtam, Danadan Yadikam Chagat, Satyadevena Tatsarvam, Nasitam Namnistitam Swaha, Atastatri Vakachami, Yatra Devasya Pujanam, Manasatu Vinishintya, Eo Gopala Sanito Swaha, Tato Satya Devasya, Pujan Gopalage Sakam, Bhakti Swadan Vito Bhutva, Chakara Bidina Vipasva, Satya Deva Prasadena, Danaputran Vito Babad, Ieloke Sukam Bhutva, Chante Satya Puran Yato Sva, Yagidam Kurate Satya, Pratam Param Durlabam, Srinoti Chakatan Punyam, Bhakti Yukta Palapadam Swaha, Dhanadan Yadikantasya, Vit Satyasya Prasadata, Dharidro Et Labate Chit Vitam, Vado Muchet Bandanat Swaha, Vito Bhakat Pramucheta, Satame Banasanchaga, Ipsitan Shapalam Bhaktva, Chante Satya Puram Pratet Swaha, Iti Iba Katitam Vipra, Satyanarayana Vrat Katha, Yakritva Sarvaduke Byo, Mukto Bhavati Manava Swaha, Visheshata Koli Yuge, Satya Puja Phalaprada, Kichit Kalam Vitishyanti, Satyami Sandri Vacha Swaha, Satya Narayana Kechit, Satya Devam Tatapre, Nana Rupa Dharobhutva, Sarvesham Ipsita Prada Swaha, Bhavishyate Kalo Satya, Vratarupi Sanatana, Shri Vishnunandritam Rupam, Sarve Pasham Yisita Pradam Swaha, Yagidam Patate Nityam, Srinoti Munistatama, Tasyana Shanti Papani, Satadeva Prasadata Swaha, Pratang Jaistu Pritam Purvam, Satyanarayana Cham, Tisanta Parajanmani, Katayami Maniswara Swaha, Shatananda Mahapadya, Sudama Brahmadodya Bhutra, Tasmin Jamani Sri Krishna, Dvatva Moksamabhavaka Swaha Kastaparabho Bilo Guharajo Babubaka Kasmin Janmani Sangsevya Sri Rama Moksha Jagmabhi Swaha Uka Muko Maharajo Nipo Dasharato Babad Sri Rangadatam Sampujya Shri Boy Kuntam Sadagan Matsva Dharmika Satya Sandascha Sadur Moran Dwajo Babad Tehardam Chakravashchay Chitwa Tatwa Moksha Mabapaka Swa Tungadvaja Maharaja Sayam Bhuvo Bhatila Sarvam Bhavam Kritva Shri Vaikuntang Sadakmatsva Iti Sri Skanda Purani Revakande Satyanarayana Vrat Katha Yam Pachamo Adhyaya Swaha Om Bu Swaha Om Bhuva Swaha Om Swa Swaha Om Bhuva Swa Swaha. Chapter 5. Sutta told another story of a king who went to the forest to hunt. His name was King Tumgadvaja. Now, Dwaj is a flag, and Tungad means erect, whose flag stands erect and tall. His banner is never lowered, always victorious. After killing many animals, the king rested under the shade of a tree. Nearby, he saw some village children busily engaged in devotional worship to Lord Satyanarayana. The king did not participate in the worship, nor even did he go to show his respect. Even at the completion, when the children brought the king an offering of the prasad from their puja, the king refused to eat it. When he returned to his home, he found that his sons had died in battle and that his city had become occupied by enemies. His wealth and store of grains had been destroyed, his position had been usurped, and all his worldly possessions and power were taken from him. Now, if you're calling that punishment, he deserves it. The king is the emblem of respect for his kingdom. All the citizens and all the dharmas and all the dharmic people of his kingdom are worthy of respect, at least encouragement and participation, if not veneration. Because Satya Vidya Vinayam Dadati, the true knowledge bestows humility. Now here this king is so puffed up with pride and kingliness, he didn't go to show his respect to the gods, he didn't respect the pujaris, he didn't respect the system of worship, he didn't even receive the prasad, he ignored the entire affair, and that is not kingly behavior. The king is supposed to inspire all the people in his kingdom to be filled with dharma, to live lives of truth and lives of piety and lives of austerity, to make a sacrifice for their country. Here the king deserved everything he got, and he lost it all. He decided to return to the forest where the Lord was being worshipped by the cow-herding boys. He helped them organize another puja, and with great faith and devotion, they propitiated the Lord. So now it wasn't that he said, oh, I blew it, I'm going to go organize another puja and pay a bribe to God and have another puja done on my behalf. But with great faith and devotion, he realized the error of his way. He promised, he made himself humble. And he organized the puja, and he made himself a worshiper rather than a hunter. And thereafter he partook of the prasad, and the Lord was pleased with him. His lost sons, treasury, and kingdom were all restored to him, and he enjoyed comfort on the earth, and ultimately rose to the realm of truth. Sri Satyanarayana Bhagavan Ki Jai. This is the story of the vow of truth. Whoever listens to its recitation with devotion will be blessed with health, wealth, peace, and the cessation of all disturbances. In fact, it's kind of fun to listen to the story. In fact, when you're engaged in the story and you're engaged in the worship and you're engaged in the vow to speak and act in truth, then how can there be disturbances? You're faced with a situation and you apply the truth. But whatever happens goes to God. You'll get the prasad of your worship. You only think about telling a lie when I am going to be the recipient of the benefits. But when you're thinking about the sankalpa to serve God by acting and speaking in truth, then there's no issue about benefit. The benefit is the truth. The benefit is the darshan. The benefit is the remembrance. How I'm recollecting my bhav, my union, my attitude, my relationship with God while I am doing what I'm doing. That's the benefit I'm seeking. Now, when I want a little extra for myself, nobody should know. That's a little selfishness on my part. I'm attached, so I'm tempted to color the truth a little bit so that I get a little bit extra. This is the story of the vow of truth. Whoever listens to its recitation with devotion will be blessed with health, wealth, peace, and the cessation of all disturbances. God is one. Ekam Brahma. Sat Chit Ekam Brahma. Some call him the Lord of time. Some the Lord of truth. Some call him the God who is truth, while others say the consciousness of truth. How many names does God have? How many ways are there of describing? Who are we to name the infinite beyond conception who created all of this? And who amongst us can say, only this name is appropriate for all the peoples of the universe? Only the name of Allah. Only the name of Ram. Only the name of Krishna in the Kali Yuga. But nonsense. In many ways, in many languages, many people celebrate the one God in their own way. How can one religion or nation or people or group isolate itself from the others and say, you're all wrong, we're right? This is our religion. The function of our religion is to unite us in the harmony of all creation. So some call him the Lord of time, some the Lord of truth, some call him the God who is truth, while others say the consciousness of truth. Who cares? It's God. It's the infinite beyond conception, wearing various forms with various names. There is only one God who grants peace and bliss to all, everywhere. He's the God of us all. She's our mother. Everybody's mother. It doesn't matter in what language you celebrate her. She's everybody's mother. All Munis, whoever will continually recite this story with pure devotion, or listen to it with unconditional faith, whoever will continually remember the vow to speak and act in truth, will find the destruction of all sin as the prasad of the Lord of truth. How can we sin if we are acting in truth without attachment? Or only puja is to say, God, this is what I'm going to do, and do it. And do it fully and completely according to our capacity. And say it as pleasantly as we possibly can. This is the worship for the Kali Yuga. Remember God in every activity you perform. Sri Ma says, respect your actions. That means respect, pay attention, adore, feel privileged, make those actions as perfect, as purna, as we possibly can. Purnamada, purnamidam, purnat, purnat uduchyate. But also respect comes from the root Shri. Sha means Shanti. Ra means your mind. E means your heart. With perfect peace, equilibrium, balance in your mind and your heart. There is no dichotomy. There is no duality. There is no conflict because there is only one. My heart and my mind want to do the same thing. And we are speaking and acting in truth. Satyanarayana Vrat Ki Jai. The poor Brahmin of Kashi was reborn as Sudama, who received liberation by the blessings of Sri Krishna. So remember that old Brahmin who was so poor, well, he was reborn as a poor man again. But Sudama was Krishna's classmate in the Guru's ashram at Sandapani. And so one night, of course, the Guru had sent Sudama and Krishna out to the forest to collect wood. And the Guru Ma gave a bag of food. And it started to rain, and it got dark, and they couldn't find their way, so they decided to climb a tree. And the tree wasn't strong enough for both of them, so Krishna went up one tree, and Sudama went up the other tree, and Sudama had bad food. And he said, called out, "Hey, Krishna, don't go to sleep. If you fall asleep, you might fall out of the tree. If you fall out of the tree, who knows, an animal could come and eat you. You stay awake. Hey, you must be hungry. Well, I have all the food." And without knowing it, Sudama started munching. And he didn't even think. And by the time morning came, all the food Sudama had eaten. And Krishna spent the night without any food. Well, in the morning, the boys got down from the tree and waited for the sun to come up. And then they got down from their various trees. And then Sudama recognized that he didn't have any food left for Krishna, that he had eaten it all. And when he got back to his Guru's ashram, his Guru got mad. He said, "You know what? You didn't share with your Guru, brother. And that means you took all for yourself. You're going to spend a lifetime without, in great poverty." And Sudama was very poor. And he married, and he had children and a wife and a family, and they were very poor. And his wife said to him, "Sudama, why don't you go see Krishna? He's the king. And he can end your poverty." And Sudama said, "I'll go see Krishna, but he can only give me pure devotion, because I earned my own poverty myself through my own actions. I didn't share with Krishna, but I will go to see Krishna and take his blessings." And so Sudama became the great devotee of Krishna. And he was always blessed by Krishna, but he was always poor. So remember the Brahmin, the poor Brahmin who became wealthy in Kashi because of his celebration. He became Sudama, who became so wealthy in devotion. He had the wealth of devotion, and he got liberation from Krishna. The woodcutter reincarnated as Guha. And Guha was the king of the Nishads. Ram, when he was exiled from Ayodhya, he came to the bank of the Ganga and he needed to cross the Ganga, and Guha was the king of the tribal people of the forest, and they prepared a boat for Ram and they took him across the Ganga. And then he built a raft for Ram and ferried him across the Jamuna. And Guha served Lord Rama with the greatest of devotion. The king Ukamuk, remember the guy with the shining face? King Ukamuk was reborn as King Dasarath. And Dasarath was, of course, Ram's father. Remember Kashyap Muni and his wife Aditi. They did a tremendous tapasya. And they called on Vishnu and they said, Vishnu, Aditi wants you to be her son. And Vishnu said, I will take birth 3 times. So I will take birth, Vishnu said, I will take birth as the son of Dasarath and Kaushalya, and you, Kashyap Muni, will be reborn as Dasarath, and you will also be Ukamuk. So Dasarath was the father of Ram, and then he became Vasudeva, who's the father of Krishna. So in this way, Krishna and Ram were the avatars that were born. The king Ukamuk became the king Dasharatha, the father of Ram. The truthful and righteous sadhu became the businessman Moradhwaj. Mor means peacock. Who has peacock on his flag? And he attained liberation by offering his body to the Brahmins. He just had it cut in 2. He said, I don't need this body. It's more beneficial to the Brahmins to serve you. And the great King Tumgadvaja was reborn as Manu, Swayambhuva, the first progenitor, the giver of the law, the first progenitor of the human race, Manu and Saptaru. They were the Adam and Eve of Hindu philosophy. And here ends the 5th chapter. Sri Satyanarayana Bhagavan Ki Jai! Let's see if there are any questions. Well, if there are questions, then maybe we should go ahead and finish the text first, and then we'll attend to the questions. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanagitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Yatha Vishnu Mayam Satyam Yatha Vishnu Mayam Jagat Yatha Vishnu Mayam Sarvam Padma Me Nashatam Tata Narayana Param Brahma Narayana Param Tapa Narayana Parodeva Sarvam Narayana Sadam. I bow to the Lord of creation and to the examples of radiant light, to the creator of the world, to Krishna, to Govinda, I bow, I bow. It is this Vishnu that is my truth. It is this Vishnu that is my world. It is this Vishnu that is my all. Please destroy all sin. The manifestation of consciousness is the supreme divinity. The manifestation of consciousness is the highest austerity. The manifestation of consciousness is the supreme God. Everything is the manifestation of consciousness. Namaste. Do we have any questions now? Please.
The scripture is about the vow to act and speak the truth, Swamiji.
Correct.
In our life we make several promises to different people, and sometimes we don't keep the promises. How can we organize our life better to keep all our promises?
The first ingredient will be discrimination. Unfortunately, that comes with age and experience. However, we want to limit the number of promises we make to only those that are really sincere. Sometimes we become infatuated by the circumstances and make promises that are emotional responses to the present circumstance without thinking really deeply about what that commitment really entails. And we find sometime later it is no longer appropriate to maintain that commitment, or we are no longer empowered to maintain that commitment, and we'll have to, unfortunately, let go of our promise. But then we will want to be as forgiving as we can possibly be with others who let go of their promises, because we know how easy it is for me to let go of mine. So now when we're confronted with a circumstance when someone doesn't fulfill their promise, let's immediately, instead of responding with anger and insult and indignance, let's think about, okay, where can we go from here? And what's the best way to resolve this circumstance? And then we want to do prayaschitta for our own indulgences. We want to indulge others. So as we will want to be forgiven for what we didn't fulfill in our past, in the same way, we'll give a little extra in this circumstance towards others. We won't be as vindictive as we might have been otherwise, because we know how easy it is for a moment's lack of discrimination, we make a commitment which in the future we don't choose to honor. Other questions?
Rolf from Mountain View.
Namaste, Rolf.
Namaste, Swamiji. The story of Satyanarayana Vrat tells us that partaking of the prasad is an essential part of the worship. Just as there are many different kinds of sacrifice, there are many different kinds of prasad. How does this principle apply to prasad other than food, such as prasad from Karnivola?
Rolf, what it means to me is that in every circumstance I'm going to receive whatever I'm given as the prasad of my worship. Everything that I get is a consecrated offering from God to me. And if I'm really speaking and observing and acting in truth, then that really becomes the reality of my life. So it becomes a whole new bhav. It's not like, look at me, what I did, what I was able to accomplish, but look at the greatness of God, what God gave me as the prasad of my worship. Everything we get is prasad. It's not just the food, but everything we get. Everything.
Last week, Swamiji spoke of Diksha being the merging with the Guru, and before Diksha, the Guru whispers a mantra in your ear. What do you do if the Guru doesn't whisper a mantra in your ear?
Whisper in her ear. Go ahead, keep whispering. When she hears it, she'll come and whisper in your ears. And then what a delight we'll be whispering in each other's ears. Absolutely. Let her hear your mantra. And she'll know when you're ready to receive the seed implanted. As long as we sit there waiting to be recognized, we are going to be waiting for a long, long time. But the objective is to recognize her. Not that I'm waiting for you to recognize me as your disciple. Bakwas. I am recognizing you as my guru. Now that's a true disciple. And when we actually speak and act in truth and whisper the mantra in her ear, she'll come over and blow a little bit. And then just pray, say the words, and give us the energy, and give us the bob, and make us fall in love with her even more and more and more. Namaste.
Sadhana from North Carolina. I'm considering a 90-day sankalpa to prepare for my next visit to Great London. The goal is a bit challenging. Is this an auspicious length of time for a sankalpa? I understand the words of a sankalpa, but can you advise how to make a sankalpa? What is the inner process?
Sadhuma, there are certain ingredients that go into a sankalpa. You have to have an allocated amount of time, regular, every day. You have to have a specific place and an environment dedicated to the performance of that sankalpa. You have to have a supply line so that you can have all of the necessary materials for your sankalpa, all the resources necessary provided to you, or a place where you can find those things. You don't want to start in the middle of your sankalpa, well, I ran out of this and it's no longer in the market. So I'm going to have to let my fingers do the walking, and you walk through the bazaars and the telephones and everything else. It's rather you establish your supply chain and all the materials that you'll need. And the fourth thing is you'll need the economic resources in order to do it. Now, once you have these four ingredients, you know your economic budget, you know where you're going to get your materials and how much they're going to cost and what it's going to cost you per month, and you know where you're going to do it, and you have the conducive environment constructed, and you have the amount of time that you can spend. Now, you can define what that sankalpa will be. If you have 2 hours to spend every morning, you could do a Siddha Pat for 90 days. And if you want to be really judicious, you could add 18 days extra and do it for 108 days, and it would be called a Chandi Vrat, a 100-day Chandi Vrat. And we always do 108 days when we do a 100-day Vrat. 8 days reduction. So you call it a Chandi Vrat for 108 days. You do the 108 days every day of Chandi Pat. If you have 3 hours, you do puja and pat. If you do have 5 hours, then you do the whole cosmic puja and the whole Chandi Pat. If you have 10 hours, then you do the Chandi Samput and the cosmic puja and the Satyanarayana Vrat every Purnima. And every other time, every other day, you add another scripture, or you will construct your sankalpa according to your bhava. So I hope that's a little bit of information, a little criteria as to how you define your sankalpa. Now, what will be appropriate? You're going to have to determine that for yourself according to your capacity.
Wendy from New Jersey.
Namaste, Wendy Ma.
Swamiji, are we taking on a sankalpa in order to achieve the requested goal, and therefore we would be wise to ask for stronger and purer devotion? Or are we taking on a sankalpa for the discipline of completing it? Depending upon that answer, how do we decide what kind of sankalpa and what kind of goal to ask for?
Om Sami Saraswati. Wendy Ma, the process is the boon. The very privilege of dedicating ourselves to worship regularly and fulfilling a discipline and completing the sankalpa, that is the boon. In addition, we're asking for greater capacity to do a greater sankalpa. So I want more devotion, because that's not the byproduct of the sadhana, that's intrinsic to the sadhana. It's not a result that I get after I do the sadhana. It was like the Mata Shabari offering flowers and putting them on the ground so that Ram would walk down the path and he wouldn't step on a thorn. And Ram walked down the path and she invited him into her home and into her heart. She sat him down and fed him. And she said, I have been preparing for your arrival for years and years and years. I was a young girl when my guru said, don't leave this opportunity. Ram will come. Now, tell me about devotion. And Ram said, you yourself are so full of devotion. You've led a life of devotion. You have demonstrated devotion in your every activity. What could I say about devotion? And Shabari said, no, Lord, I'm not letting you off so easily. I've been devoted to you because I want to learn about what is true devotion. And those 9 steps of devotion we put on our website. Please, everybody, take a look at them. In the same way, the path and the destination are defined by the same terms. So when you are doing your sankalpa, you are demonstrating your devotion and you are asking for greater devotion so that you can tomorrow do another sankalpa, which is even more devoted. And where there's devotion, there's wisdom. And where there's wisdom, there's humility. And where there's humility, you get every blessing in the world. All the blessings come to you at the same time. I don't see the need to separate the two.
Swami Devi from Georgia and Philip from Florida had a question about when we have to do the Satyanarayana Puja. He's asking, can you tell us exactly what you mean out of here on the full moon? And I know you said that we can do Vishnu Puja anytime, but what was the best time?
Namaste Devi Ma, Namaste Dilip, Satyanarayana Bhagavan Ki Jai. Devi, Dilip, we can do this puja anytime, but it is especially efficacious on the full moon. So, anytime you can do Vishnu Puja, and you can do the Satyanarayana Puja, and you can read this story, these 5 chapters. That would be the minimum that you want to do. If you do Vishnu Puja in the morning, you could read the 5 chapters in the evening. If you do the cosmic puja in the morning, Vishnu's puja is included in the cosmic puja. So therefore, you're absolved from performing a special puja again. If you like to do puja again, you can do the puja again. If you have the time and the ability and the resources, then do puja again and again and again. In fact, puja is a way of life. Pu means punya, ja means japa. What gives birth to the highest merit is puja. Please do the puja to the best of your capacity and then read these 5 chapters. The story of the vow to speak and act in truth, and the discussion about who did it and what did they get, and who didn't do it and what did they get. And what you're doing and what you're not getting, or what you are getting.
Kali from Barbados.
Namaste, Kalima.
How was the wife able to pray on her husband's behalf? What type of karma is this?
It's a beautiful karma. Because even if you even think of your spouse while you're praying, then the spouse gets to share the karma with you. Of course, when you fill yourself with devotion and you fill yourself with divinity, your entire family rejoices. Your entire family, your entire community reaps the benefit of one individual's dedication to God. Especially husband and wife. So in this way, they share the sankalpa together. Even if one person performs the puja, all the parties of the family, they all share in the prasad.
How should the 24 hours of the day be spent? I've heard it said that 8 hours for sadhana, 8 hours for karma, 8 hours for physical needs like sleeping. How can we balance this, Swamiji?
Well, again, Kumari Mom, this is every one of us has to make our own budget according to the dictates of circumstances. And we have to leave enough latitude so that we can improvise in the face of the circumstances that are constantly changing. So there are various ways that we have to compensate. On some days we can do an 8 hours full of worship at one asana. And in other days we can do 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon and 2 hours in the evening and a little bit in the late at night. So there are many ways that we have to compensate and organize the sankalpas that we're performing according to the dictates of the rest of our worldly life. We have many various responsibilities. Responsibilities to our families, responsibilities to our employees, our employers, our community, our church. We have many, many different responsibilities, and they're not always equal. So now, improvise. We're all in the band. We're playing the song of God. And here we are improvising, and today it's your turn to do the entire Chandi Pat, and it's my turn to go out and chop wood and carry water. And tomorrow I get to do the entire Chandi Pat, and I'll expect a good meal when I'm done. In various ways, we'll cooperate and compensate for each other, working together to harmonize our sankalpas so that we all get the opportunity to live lives of consecration, live lives of dedication. It cannot be all one way in anyone's life. It's always in a state of flux. And that's what's so joyous about festivals like Navaratri, where we say, okay, these 9 days, there is no other agenda. So other festivals that we take a sankalpa for, and we say, this is the agenda for this period of time. And then there are other days which sometimes there are other responsibilities to attend to. And that too is God's work. So that's part of the sankalpa.
Kumari is asking, what should be the duty to our parents?
We all want to honor our parents and respect our parents and give them the kind of support that they gave to us when we were incapable. When we were young, they devoted themselves exclusively to our upbringing. And when they get old, we want to dedicate ourselves to the extent of our capacity to make sure that they have a smooth transition into their next form, their next life, their next whatever is ahead of them. That means when we respect the elderly, the way we will want to be respected when we are old. And we nourish the young people the way we want this world to become. We are fulfilling our debt to the ancestors. And that is how I would try to define our obligation to our families.
Edward from Seattle is asking, I hear that saying mantra silently is the best. How is this true without wording? Thank you, Swamiji.
Namaste, Edward. Yes, there are 3 forms of pronunciation. Shabda means audible. You audibly, physically, pronounce the mantra outside. More subtle than the audible pronunciation is called pumps. And no sound comes out, but you can hear the mantra inside. Your lips move so that you keep the rhythm of the mantra. But more subtle than pumps is manas, where you merely close off all of the 10 organs, the 5 organs of action and the 5 organs of knowledge. The body becomes completely still, and you listen to the mantra inside. Well, this Manas Puja has the capacity to become the most perfect puja. Every time we do puja outside, there can be some lack, some dosh, some difficulty, something that is not perfect. But only in Manas Puja can there be a complete, perfect recitation of the mantra, if we can stay focused. So therefore we learn the mantra audibly, and through experience it becomes softer and softer. Until it's completely within. Yes, Gauri.
Is it a good aid to visualize the Sanskrit writing of the mantra as you are doing it in manas?
It may be, or you may want to visualize the deity, or you may want to visualize yourself inside the deity, or you could go anywhere you want to go with your Manas Puja. It's your mind. So I wouldn't begin to prescribe for anybody what they should visualize when they're reciting a mantra silently. It could be a still candle flame, it could be the murti, it could be the yagya, it could be the mirror, it could be the reflection.
Nanda from San Jose, what is the link between doing a puja with devotion versus living a life of devotion?
Doing the puja with devotion trains us to live a life of devotion. Nandama, we've heard so many people talk about devotion, but when you experience it, when you feel it, you got a whole different concept of the word. When you really have the experience of devotion, then you know what it's like. It's not enough to say sugar, sugar, sugar. One day you taste the sugar and you understand what sweet means. In the same way, a puja with devotion teaches us the meaning of devotion. How do you focus and concentrate and apply yourself to the activity at hand with consecrated attentiveness? Make it a divine act. Make it an expression of devotion.
Devi from Atlanta, Swamiji, can you please give us suggestions for keeping focused to keep the thoughts quiet when in puja?
Baby, every time your mind wants to stray, if you remember, hey, that's not where I'm supposed to be. My promise was to be here. Then remember the mantra, Sri Satyanarayana Bhagavan Ki Jai, and let that bring you back. That might be one way you can keep bringing your mind back to the center as it wants to burst out and roam. Then you bring it back and make it sit still. Satyanarayana Bhagavan Ki Jai.
Kumari is asking, do psychic powers play any role in spiritual life?
Absolutely they do. They have the capacity to be a tremendous distraction. They have the capacity to avert any further movement towards God. They are little toys that mother gives for her children to play with along the way. And they are they have little validity in the pursuit of self-realization. There are some that would pursue psychic powers. Let me tell a story. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm almost out of time. Well, I won't tell a story. Psychic powers are a mild distraction. We're not trying to be psychic or mental or affect the physical in any way. We are spiritual beings trying to be metaphysical. And if we're not, we're kidding ourselves. Oh, I'm doing all of this to get power so I get status in the eyes of society. And I can become rich and famous, and that is not the objective. Please make it very clear, self. That is not the objective. The objective is not to have status in the eyes of society. The objective is for her to have status in my eyes. That's what I'm searching for. How can I make her the most important thing in my life, not how I can be the most important thing in other people's lives? Please understand this clearly. This is the essential issue of all spiritual pursuit. We are not doing this to achieve status in other people's eyes. We are trying to make her the most important thing in our lives. And then when she is the most important thing in our lives, then being with her is the nicest thing we could do, and serving her is the best thing we could do, and everything that we do is an expression of our love for her. And the rest is all bakwas. Nonsense. It's stuff that we may choose to engage with or choose not to engage with as circumstances require. Now let's make our value system very clearly defined. This is not about becoming the guru. This is about becoming the disciple. Let her be the guru. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Well, that was the completion of the Satyanarayana Vrat. Do we have other questions?
Swamiji, we have a comment from Who's
Yes.
joining us from Banaras.
Oh,
India.
namaste. Namaste, Amitabh. And hi, Jolly. आप लोग सब ठीक है? आशीर्वाद ग्रहण कीजिए.
Amitabh Agarwal, it's such an exciting experience to be present at Devi Mandir through these live sessions, especially from the other side of the hemisphere. Kindly accept my respectful regards from Banaras. I do look forward to being part of this forum regularly.
Namaste, Amitabh. Thank you very much for joining us. It's really a delight to have you share with us.
And Swamiji, we have today 55 countries, Poland and Norway are the newest countries to join us.
Namaste to all our brothers and sisters in Poland and in Norway. This is getting to be so exciting because we started this project saying we wanted to join hands with all of our fellow devotees and make a human chain around the world, and we're already talking to people in 53 countries. 55 countries. Thank you very much. Please take my hands. And join hands with your neighbors and your friends. And join hands with your family, and let all of us celebrate our love for God together. Namaste.